What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
This is our full spoiler chat for Army of the Dead. We're going to get into it all, so go watch the movie first, because we recommended it.
We did.
Yeah. We get Nerdy Nightly.
We thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back. If you watch our non-spoiler chat, you probably know we liked this movie, but it was really dumb. And so we're going to talk about why it was really dumb now.
Yeah, here's the thing. I wish, I could say... It's weird for me to say I liked the movie, because I recommend watching it, but the movie is not great. I don't know how to explain.
I think it is, actually.
Like I said...
I think it's great, but I also like dumb, fun things.
When things are stupid, and when characters are stupid, you lose me. And so Zack Snyder, I'm upset with you. Because I cared. This movie started, and I thought it was really cool. I was so into it.
The concept is amazing.
The concept is great. The creativity, I gotta give 10 out of 10 for. And I was sitting there, and I was like, dope. This is cool. This is awesome. And then halfway through the movie just fell apart because people did stupid things and the plot just literally fell out from under everybody. And I was like,
I want to get into the things that I think are the biggest problems as far as the plot goes. You know what? Let's start with the thing we like the most. Okay. This version of zombies, I was
very
riveted.
Cool. Yeah.
This version of zombies is so cool, and the whole alpha fast zombies, and then the shamblers, and having the different types of zombies. In this world, so many things have done that before, but it never makes sense. It's always dumb. This time, I got that, it's like the alpha vampire thing, right? The alpha zombie makes smart zombies. And they are a bioweapon. It was very Resident Evil.
Yeah.
There's a helicopter that lands at the end of the movie, and I was like, if that has the Umbrella logo on it, this will be the greatest backdoor pilot to a new Resident Evil franchise ever made.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you told me that this was a Resident Evil movie, I would be like, Resident Evil is back, baby. Let's go. But the Resident Evil movie comes later this year, and I don't think it'll be as good as this, because it won't have Zack Snyder helming it. I shouldn't say that, but we'll see when that comes out. That also comes out in November, and we have not had any advertising for it.
Yeah.
The zombies are so cool. The alpha zombie concept is awesome. The smart zombies concept is really cool. We love that. I was so into it. I was screw David Bautista's team. I don't want to watch any of their stuff.
Yeah.
Just show me this movie of this weird, zombie horde living in Vegas.
Yeah, they have their own culture in there. And it's really fascinating. Obviously, this is a spoiler chat. You've got your alpha zombie, and you have his queen. Literally, and they are affectionate towards each other. And she is pregnant.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Was she pregnant before he turned her, or did he impregnate her?
I don't.
The movie doesn't get into that because doesn't care.
Yeah.
Why are there robots?
Yeah. Okay, Zack Snyder, we need to talk.
Why are there robots? And you don't, why don't the characters in the movie notice that they are shooting robots sometimes? The characters shoot a robot, it dies in front of them, it is a robot, and the characters don't even...
It's metal face and
it looks like the Terminator.
Eyes, literally. And I was like, we're just not going to talk about this? Okay.
Literally, it's baffling. It's
not
so
mentioned
baffling.
Through the entire movie.
Yeah. But Zack Snyder does say that if you come back and watch the animated prequel show, you'll find out why there's robots.
Yeah, and I say, screw that. Don't do that to me. Don't make me care about something and then be like, gotcha.
Well, it's what The Mummy did, right? It's what the Tom Cruise Mummy movie made that mistake with the Dark Universe thing, where they were like, we're going to tease things, and it's don't tease something in the first movie. Set up a world that's really cool, which they started to do.
Yeah.
Don't tease anything nonsensical that I had. Don't go there. If you're 4 or 5 movies into a franchise, you can do that, right?
Sure.
You can earn that. Or if you're doing a superhero movie where the tease is related to a thing that people who have read the comic book know, you can get away with it because enough of the audience will be like, that's what that is. They'll explain it to their friends. It's fine. In this movie, there are robots that are so advanced that it makes the plot of this movie nonsense because if they needed to steal the money from the bank, they have robots in there. Unless the robots aren't from the government. But it opens up questions that are so
the zombies
random.
Made robots? It doesn't make any sense, and I hate it so much.
Like genuinely, seeing the first robot, I was so excited, and then when I got to the end of the movie and there's no explanation, I was upset.
Yeah. And it's and like I said, I did recommend seeing this movie if especially if you already have Netflix. First of all, go see it in the theater if you can. It is visually stunning. Mm-hmm. Second of all, if you already have Netflix and you have 2.5 hours, watch it because the creativity of it is so cool.
Yeah,
but expect to be incredibly frustrated at the end of it. I'm giving you your warning. This is it. Like it because you can't do that. You can't. It's as a viewer, it's very off-putting. It's in fact it makes me want to watch your next thing less.
Yeah, because it kind of is like it's kind of a like. Ooh, look what I know that you don't. And I'm like, your goal as a filmmaker is to give me that information in a creative way. Like
Not to make me feel dumb or out of the joke.
Or out of the loop.
Yeah.
Like, you literally make your audience feel like they're missing something.
Yeah.
And
that's not a good feeling when you're watching a movie.
But I want to get into the biggest problem this movie's plot has.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest issue in the entire film.
Yeah.
We meet Tanaka, right? Tanaka is sending Dave Bautista's team in to rescue $200 million. Immediately you go, $200 million isn't that much money to someone like Tanaka. If you own a casino in Vegas, $200 million is not worth anything to you. It just, like, I mean, it's not worthless, but, like, it's not that much money, especially when you already got your insurance payout on that $200 million. You're fine. This is not worth it. The legal ramifications of you getting caught sending humans into that zone are worth more, or would be more detrimental than getting at the end of the day, he would have $150 million because he's giving them 50, right?
Yeah.
So immediately my mind is like, all right, what's going on here? What's going on here is the plot of James Cameron's Aliens. If you've seen Aliens and you've seen Army of the Dead, you've seen the same movie twice. Almost exactly.
Oh, I haven't seen Aliens. Yeah. Now I feel like I have to watch it.
Down to like the daughter has to go rescue the like family in the other hotel, and you're like, oh wait, this is Newt. Wait, this is literally the like Newt subplot from Aliens. And I'm not the first person to recognize that. Like, if you go read reviews online of this movie, a lot of people are like, enjoy the zombie version of James Cameron's Aliens. And I'm not saying that it's a ripoff. They're just, the plots are very similar.
Yeah.
The problem here is Tanaka doesn't need $150 million. We can all agree, probably he's going to be rich no matter what.
Here's the thing. Unless he has run into like some like extreme financial hardship or something, but they don't say that at all. It's not mentioned. Right. He seems like he's doing perfectly fine.
So, but this is the problem. It sets up that anyone who's seen a movie, not anyone who's seen a movie, people who watch a lot of movies are immediately going to go, okay, there is a deeper plan. Because there has to be a third act.
There's always something, and he sends his own guy in with them.
His security guy, who's great. I think that actor actually did a really good job, being like smarmy. Because he's not usually, that actor is usually very charming and like plays very different characters from that.
Yeah.
What Tanaka's security guy's real mission is to bring back the head of a zombie, right?
Yeah. Of an alpha zombie.
Which they go into Vegas. They immediately encounter that alpha zombie with one other zombie, and they let her get away so that they can go do the fake safe mission.
Yeah.
Then the security guy goes and meets that alpha zombie again, takes her head, puts it in a bag, and goes back to the safe mission because he wants to hide what he's doing. But it's nonsense, because if they had just told the team the real plan from the beginning, they would have walked into Vegas, encountered the alpha zombie, cut her head off, because the 7 of them could take out those 2 zombies,
and they were right by
walked
the door.
out. They could have walked out. Like, Tanaka, by lying and by coming up with this convoluted nonsense plan to break into a safe that doesn't need to be broken into because it's not relevant to what he actually needs, creates a scenario where he doesn't get what he needs. And if he had just... like, it's such nonsense.
Here's the thing. You would have a much more difficult time convincing someone to break in and bring out a potential zombie virus than to bring out $200 million.
I don't think you would at all. I will give you $100 million if you bring me a zombie. Done.
Okay, there goes the world.
Yeah. Oh, no.
You would take $100 million for the end of humanity.
There is no amount of money that you could pay me to be in the state of Nevada if Las Vegas had that zombie issue. There's no amount of money. I'm saying that if you wanted to get someone to go in there and bring you a zombie, there are people who will do it. People are selfish. You could find a crack team of very well-trained military people who will take the money to go bring you a zombie.
Yeah, I guess.
100%. You want to know how I know that? Because his security guy was willing to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you literally, there's already someone in the movie who's shown that they're very willing to do that. And so the problem with this whole plot is that they encounter the end goal of the plot immediately. Yeah. And the security guy isn't like, hey, let's just take her out and take her, we'll make our money.
Yeah.
Like, it's, everything past that point becomes really weird and pointless because they make this decision in that moment to introduce the character that they need to kidnap later. It's this weird, like, the lie is so stupid, but they need to lie in order for the plot to happen, or they could have just not encountered that alpha there. And then the whole plot's different, right?
Yeah.
But, like, because they encounter the alpha that early and the security guy isn't immediately like, we need to kidnap her.
Yeah, the queen.
And I think
the alpha is, like, the guy, I think, and she's, like, the queen.
I think the argument against that is that, well, he needed to kill everyone because Tanaka didn't want anyone to know that he had the zombie, right? And so that's why the security guy ultimately kills everyone. But they could have killed them later.
Yeah, they literally
They could have gotten them out of Vegas and then just shot them all.
Yeah.
They didn't need to do this plan. Because it was dumb.
Yeah.
It was really dumb.
Yeah.
The plan was stupid. And that's unfortunate because the movie's good.
The concept of the movie is good.
But if you change, like, 3 small things, if you change, like, the 3 dumb things about the plot, and you just made them a little bit smarter, I think this movie shines.
Sure, okay.
The problem with this film is really that...
It feels like the plot came last.
10,000%.
Like,
they had Vegas zombie heist movie, and then they tried to figure it out from there.
And then they, like, wrote around it, and it doesn't... It falls short. It falls short. And, you know, the problem it also has is... It's long, and there's so many characters.
They don't get into Vegas for the first hour of the movie.
Yeah,
like,
and
literally.
I don't want to be thinking about the time and how long this movie is during the movie. If you made me think about that, you've lost. You know what I mean?
Can I be honest? This felt longer than his Justice League, and that was 4 hours.
No, it didn't feel
this movie, because it didn't... What's wild about this movie is that they set up a clock, and then you never feel the tension of that clock, because the characters in the movie just stop what they're doing to have conversations.
Oh yeah, there is zero pacing in this movie. Like I said, someone needs to introduce Zack Snyder to pacing.
Yeah.
They need to meet, and they need to learn from one another. Because, look, Zack Snyder has, like... There's so many things. Like, this and Justice League, like, if the pacing had been better, if there maybe had just been somebody in the room that was like, Zack, pick up the pace. Like, this can't happen. And, like, kept him on his toes. I think that's what he needs. He needs, like, somebody in his life to keep him on his toes, because it feels very self-indulgent in a lot of times.
I agree with that. I think the biggest culprit in this movie is they get into the safe, and they start piling the money out, and they're like, all right, the nuke is going to drop on us in 30 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And then the lead female, who doesn't have anything to do until this moment, pulls Dave Bautista aside and is like...
I don't know if she's the leader of the team female, you mean?
Yeah, his second in command.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She's, I think, the female lead of the movie. His daughter would be the only other person who
I don't think it's her, because literally we don't know anything about
the Coyote
her.
Girl, the blonde, the bleach blonde, she's actually probably a bigger part.
She's a bigger part.
And she's great.
Yeah, his second in command gets zero personality.
Until this moment where they immediately set up that...
We have 20 minutes
before a nuke is going to drop on us. And she's like, all right, I want to pull you aside and talk about the fact that we didn't date...
come here for the money. Came here
that we didn't start dating immediately after you had to murder your own wife because she had turned into a zombie. And I'm like, what is that? What is this conversation?
And here's the thing.
I thought something would happen. He had just killed his own wife.
You can have that conversation while carrying money bags to the roof. You don't need to stand there and
or
do
have
nothing.
it after the mission.
Or do
get
that.
back.
Or do that. But even still, if it's so integral that you have to get it off your chest in that moment, at least be productive at the same time.
But if I was Dave Bautista in that moment, I would have responded with, I had just killed my wife. I wasn't ready to jump your bones.
Or I would have been like, can we talk about this later?
No, my response would be, what's wrong with you? I had just killed my wife. I was not ready to get in bed with you.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Weird. And then his, like, I hate his daughter so much. She's such a...
Yeah, I hate her. I hate her so much. She is, like, the dumbest, most pointless part of this movie.
Yeah.
And it's not the actress. No. It is that she doesn't have a reason to go on the mission. No. Except that she's like, I have to go find these people who have been missing for a day in a zombie apocalypse. Like... Yeah. And look, the movie manufactures this whole, like, the alpha turns people very slowly into zombies for some reason that the movie doesn't explain. So they're still alive, despite the fact that there's no reasonable reason for them to still be alive.
But here's the problem. They set up, so they give the zombies a sacrifice. They bring this, like, douchebag along with them. Mm-hmm. And
I love that actor, by the way.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
and then
great.
Coyote is like, haha, joke's on you, this is our sacrifice so that we can be allowed to be on the edges of their territory. Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. The plot with the other girls still being alive would work better if they'd taken him back, put him in the back of the queue to be turned.
But they kill him, but they turn him immediately.
Turn him first.
Well, maybe the alpha treats men and women differently. Here's the problem. The movie doesn't explain why they're still alive. The movie doesn't explain why zombies kept them alive in their hotel. And it's just really, it's really odd. Like, there's no reason. In
a room, on the floor. They probably have been given no food or water, I'm assuming. They would be so dehydrated in Las Vegas that they would probably be, like, passed out or half dead.
But the problem is this movie uses these humans as a MacGuffin. Yeah. But it's a MacGuffin that, like, kind of breaks the logic of the movie a little bit. Yeah. And it makes the zombies weirder, but there's no explanations coming. Yeah. So they just are, you're just kind of... the movie asks you to kind of get really invested in this cool zombie thing that it sets up, and then it just kind of... It's almost like it gives up on keeping that cool. Yeah. And it just is kind of like, whatever. If it gets us to another action sequence, this doesn't have to... We don't have to be consistent with this. Yeah. And if they had been consistent... I'm telling you, if they had been consistent with that zombie premise, with the way that they were set up and, like, the through line of that... If they'd cut that family, if they just really focused on that zombie culture, I really think this could have been, like, the coolest zombie, the coolest new addition to the zombie canon in 2 decades.
You don't need the daughter. You don't need the girls who've been stuck in there for a day. They do not add anything to this movie.
They really don't.
There's no point.
Don't. Because, honestly, the final fight with the alpha zombie
happens
on a second roof. Yeah. But, like, you could have cut... Literally, because they say, like, we have 9 minutes. You could have cut 9 minutes out of this movie by not having them go to the second hotel.
Yeah, they don't need to.
And it would have been the same ending of the film. Yeah. Which is what's wild, right? Like, the movie literally gets to the same rooftop twice. Yeah. And it is the problem of, like, if you're gonna show me something twice, the second time has to be better. And it wasn't. The second time was the exact same thing. The alpha still ends up in the helicopter. The helicopter goes over the side, but they could have just done that off the first roof. Yeah. Like, bringing the daughter along for the mission does not add anything to this film. No. And bringing her along for the mission is so stupid. Like, Dave Bautista's like, no, you don't know what you're doing. You're not a warrior. Like, there's no reason for you to be there. Yeah. And she's like, well, I'm coming. I'm going to go in anyway. And I'm like, why would you do that, though?
Oh, my God, yeah.
You're not a reasonable person.
And then she's
like... You don't know where they are.
And then she's like, later on, like, Dave Bautista's like, I thought you were mad at me because, like, you know, I killed your mom because she was a zombie. And she's like, no, I'm just mad at you that you didn't take care of me afterwards. And it was like, okay, this guy had to literally kill his wife because she was a zombie and was traumatized, and you cut him out of your life because he was dealing with trauma. Mm-hmm. Like, look, she's also dealing with trauma. I get it. 100%. But you are such a crappy person.
Well, but then she's also awful. He apologizes. He's like, maybe we can, like, try again. And her response is, well, I've hated you for so long, so.
Yeah, so
I guess. Wow, you suck.
Yeah. What do you mean you hated? You hated him for having to deal with something that you also had to deal with? Like, I was just like, you are such a selfish brat. Like, oh my god, I hated her so much. Yeah, I've hated you for so long, so I don't know how to stop. And I was like...
And what sucks is that, like, Dave Bautista is, like, really there is not... Dieter. There's one character in this name whose name I remember.
Don't remember any of them.
Dieter is the...
Coyote. That's the one I remember.
That's not her name, though.
No.
That's just what people call her because it's a weird reference to, like... there's a weird, like, immigrant underline of this movie where all of the people in the refugee camp outside of Vegas are... seem to be people of color.
Except for her.
But she's not from Vegas, right? She's the coyote. But there is this weird thing where there's, like, coyotes moving people through this border that feels like it's supposed to be, like, a political commentary on the southern border. But,
I didn't catch on to that, but yeah.
Well, a coyote is a term in that is used to describe people who sneak...
people across the border?
The southern border from Mexico into the United States.
Yeah.
And so using the word coyote and then having the, like, family that she's sneaking into Vegas be... Latina or Latinx or Hispanic or it just felt like they were trying to. It felt like they were trying to, like, couch a weird political commentary on there.
Yeah.
Which then gave the daughter a weird white savior complex storyline that was, just another layer of, like.
Of, like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, like, the woman is like, I'm sneaking in there to get $5,000 so that I can get my kids out of wherever. And I was like, $5,000? That's like 2 months. And we live in Toronto, so maybe I'm skewed, but, like, that's barely over 2 months rent. You're gonna go brave zombies for a couple months rent?
Yeah. And
leave your kids alone? Like, that mother's terrible. $5,000 is not enough money to take the risk that you took when you have 2 kids. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I look, no matter how tough times are, you don't fight zombies for $5,000.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Zombies. Yeah. There are so many things in this movie. The one thing that we didn't talk about yet that was such a cringe moment for me was the Japanese joke with the guy who hires them. Easy peasy Japanesey. And I was like...
And the joke is that he's Japanese, so he can say that.
Yeah, but then...
But Dieter's like, maybe
Dieter's
don't.
Dieter's like, you can't say that anymore. It's lemon squeezy. And he's like, but he's like, okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah,
and I was like,
rough.
This is so cringe. Like,
but,
I was like, I can't watch this.
I think that I heard easy squeezy, the other one. I don't even want to say it. Like, I don't even want to say it. When I was, like, in, like, the early 90s. But I haven't heard someone say that since I was a very small child.
I have never heard it before.
Like, I'm like, what? I've heard easy peasy lemon squeezy for about 20 years now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a weird callback, but also this movie takes place in the future because there's robots. Remember the robots? You don't? Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
There's robots.
There's just robots in this movie.
There was one review I read where the reviewer was like, it kind of looked like it was an animatronic that they forgot to edit out of the movie.
Yeah, it literally is what it looked like. And I was like, what is happening? God.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I like this movie. I want to be very clear. I enjoyed watching this movie. I won't watch it again because it's too long. It's bloated. But I think that you should watch this movie. I think it's worth watching. It's fun.
And
it really is as dumb as Godzilla was. And I liked that movie a lot too, right?
Dumber.
Like,
I think it's dumber, for sure.
You think it's... Wait. You think it is dumber than the movie where the skull can... where they've attached wires to a skull, and the skull has the genetic memory of a dead dragon that is able to... command the Mechagodzilla.
Here's the thing. At least that is...
Because that was a stretch.
No. At least that is fantastical, right? You can be like, this is how it works, and I'll be like, okay. Mm-hmm. But things that, like, are, like, human, that are plot holes, do not work. Like you said, they could have literally walked in, got the zombie queen's head, and walked out.
Oh, yeah, that's dumb.
You know what I mean?
That is a plot breaker to me that is very unfortunate.
That's why, if you give me something that's fantastical, like either about the zombies or about Godzilla, then I'm like, okay, I guess it's your world. You can, fine, I will buy it for this moment, even if I think it's dumb. This human dumb stuff, you can't really get away with. Because I'm like, well, no, I'm a human. I can, like,
one last thing I want to bring up. I want to bring up the end of the movie.
I thought you wanted to bring up your favorite scene.
Oh, my favorite scene!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Before we get to the end of the movie.
The hibernation zombie walk.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The hibernation zombie walk is... We've talked about it. I've said the word dumb a lot in this. I'm sorry, Zack Snyder. I'm not trying to, like, insult you. This is how I feel. The hibernation zombie walk, though, dude, Zack Snyder, if you ever watch this video and you get this far, I don't think you will. That was the coolest zombie scene in a decade. Like, from concept to execution, the way the green flares looked, now granted, I still don't understand why the security guy killed that girl. It doesn't really make sense. But
yeah, that seems reckless.
That sequence, the tension in that scene, if this movie had held that tension past that scene, it would have been incredible. Here's the problem with that scene, right? It is so tense and it's so good. It ends with the explosion, and then the characters walk away from it like off to do the next thing. And you're like, if that movie had, or if that scene had ended, and then immediately they get the call, like Tanaka's on the radio. Yeah. Instead of them finding out about the nuke later on TV, which was weird, they had to because
they all started watching the TV.
The movie kills all its tension when they're in the casino and they're safe. And they're like, all right, you go do this. We're going to go up to the generator, have this long talk about how I killed your mom and you're mad at me. Like, there's this, like, section of the movie there where there's no tension at all. Yeah. If they had instead of waiting for the generator to be turned on so that the TV comes on so they find out about the nuke, if they had radioed. Blow up, we're in the Bly, radio, the nuke's been moved up, you have 90 minutes. Let's go. We're running to the generator. You start with the safe. Da 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 da. If they had just had some pace there, it would have saved the middle of the movie. But because the tension of that incredible zombie scene is completely dissipated, while everyone gets to go around and have conversations and like they feel safe in the Bly for a while, it is a really odd. It's just an odd tension killer in the film.
It's jarring. Yeah. Because you set something up and you're like, oh, this is a zombie film. This is a familiar feeling. Like, this is where we're going with this. Mm-hmm. And you completely kill it off. It's jarring and it's very confusing.
Also,
you're like, oh, okay.
Also, the team is so proficient at headshots the entire time. Headshot. Including his daughter. There's a hallway sequence. I don't know why there's a hallway sequence. You've seen the movie. You're watching spoiler chat. The hallway sequence where she shoots for like 5 minutes of just bang, 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 bang. Headshot. I was like, if I could play this well in Valorant, I would be the greatest player on earth.
Well, and the dumbest part is she is at point blank range from the alpha zombie.
And she misses
his head. She misses shooting him in the head. Yeah. After, and it's so ridiculous, because you're like, she has not missed any other shot this entire movie, which is just, doesn't make
One
any
of which
sense.
is like 40 feet. Yeah. Like 40 feet down a hallway directly, yeah.
Yeah, which, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever, maybe she is, like, just made for shooting guns.
I think that he saw David Ayer's Suicide Squad and was like, oh, everyone can shoot like Deadshot.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Like, that was so absurd.
The headshots were a little annoying, because I was like, what?
It was just...
Let them miss every third shot, at least. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But, like, Dave Bautista is straight up just spraying bullets, and it's headshot. He's, like, literally AK-47 headshots. I'm like, that's not how machine guns work.
No, every single bullet
It's not how bullet spray works.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this is... absurd.
Yeah.
Like, you can't aim a light machine gun like that. Because it moves around.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
This movie starts with Roadhead.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the blowjob that begins this movie?
That's what a blowjob starts the zombie apocalypse.
I actually love that. I'm bringing, I said, oh my god, because it's funny. Yeah. I actually think it's, if you're gonna do a Vegas blowjob movie, that's a different film. I don't think Zack Snyder would shoot that, but if he did, it would be the most beautiful porno ever. If Zack Snyder made a porno,
the focus thing in slow-mo would be really weird.
Yeah, because the weird thing about Zack Snyder shooting a porno would be that he would try and track focus on the girl as she's giving a blowjob. So he would track focus on her head up and down, which would just be like, watching it would be weird because it would be like...
No.
It would be like...
No, I hate
the point of view of a guy who's watching a girl giving a blowjob doing this as she's moving.
Please stop. Oh my god.
What, am I wrong?
No, that's why it's funny.
He would rack focus. He would literally be like Zack Snyder, like watching that blowjob, just racking focus on the camera, like, okay, in. Guys, sorry, we have to take that again. I lost focus on our eyes for a second. Okay, and
alright,
yep,
that's enough.
For those of you who don't know, there's if you have you can have a remote lens thing. So typically the person running focus on the camera isn't like actually on the front of the camera. They're looking at a monitor and they have this little wheel that they turn to keep the focus. That's why I was doing this, because I was not, I don't know. I forget people don't work around cameras that all,
no, I have no idea what you're doing. I was like,
yeah, so it's like this wheel thing that you turn and then you look at a monitor and you can like keep the camera in focus.
Now you know.
It's really cool. It's actually, I wish we had one, because then our videos would look better, but
ooh, self-burn.
Those lenses cost more money than our house that we don't own because we rent an apartment in a house. Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I want to talk about, the end of the movie. Not Dieter. I don't know his name.
I don't know any of their names.
Buzzsaw guy.
Yep. Oh yeah, so he gets locked in. So what happens is, you've seen it. Obviously, he gets locked in the money safe. He gets locked in the money safe, and I was like,
"Why is it a money safe? It's just a safe."
Whatever. It doesn't matter. He gets locked in there to be saved. He gets saved by what's his face? The guy I really like, the German one, the locksmith.
Dieter.
That's one.
He's one cool. person whose name I know.
The one guy, like I was like, this character dope. Yeah. Anyways, gets locked in there, and then the nuke hits, and he gets out of the safe, and leaves. Walks for however many hours.
A day.
At least a day. Finds a car. Then drives to Utah, somewhere in Utah. That's all like...
Yeah, probably Reno maybe? Who knows?
So, I don't know, another day of driving?
Not a day. No, he probably takes him like 12 hours of walking and driving to get there.
Okay, yeah. So, and then has all this money, pulls it out at an airport, is like, I want to rent that plane. And they're like, okay. Gets on a plane, makes a toast, and then it's like, oh, I'm not feeling too good. And then you find out that he's been bitten by a zombie and is literally about to turn. But the problem with that is they've established earlier on in this movie that if you get bitten, you turn within a matter of minutes.
Yep.
Or less than an hour. An hour maybe tops, but like I would say like 10 or 15 minutes and you're done.
Yep.
And for some reason, it takes him at least 12 hours because it's also...
At least 12
hours.
It's
at least 12 hours because then they're also descending into Mexico City. So they've been on the flight for a few hours as well.
Well, but there are more problems to this. First of all, you can't immediately... And look, Indiana Jones pulled this same crap in Crystal Skull. You cannot immediately get out... Like, a nuclear bomb goes off. Yeah. And then there's radiation in the air.
Oh, yeah.
You can't just be outside in that radiation.
No, you're he's basically dead anyways.
Second problem... You can't charter a private plane to another country with cash and no passport. You can't fly...
Wait, New Mexico?
Mexico City. No, they say Mexico City. They are flying to Mexico. You cannot fly to Mexico without going through customs. Like, I don't care what private plane you have. You cannot fly a private plane to Mexico City without a passport. With cash. That's just not how that works. Yeah. Like, just have him say New York or say LA. Just say anywhere, but don't be like the final thing this movie does is a big
Literally, it's like a well, we gotta wrap it up somehow.
And like, I get that they want the zombie stuff to survive, but just make him already turned. Make him like the next generation of smart zombie who is like trying to get out. Right? And has money and is like have his eyes be weird, but have him be like kind of like
like,
less aggressive and like
like
do something like that. But don't tell me that like he turns different than everyone we've seen turn in the movie.
Yeah.
He turns slower, and then also be like, and he also took a plane to Mexico somehow because
money.
This movie is like, and it's a movie that is like, don't worry about it. But I'm tired of watching. I'm tired of watching movies that I enjoy. Tell me not to worry about logic. Yeah. Like I'm getting really tired of these like movies that are just completely illogical.
Yeah.
It's not as good. It isn't. Take the time to figure it out.
Yeah.
If you're having a hard time with your logic, don't just be like, it doesn't matter, the action sequence will be good. Take the time. It's worth it. Because I don't want to watch this again.
No.
I think it's worth watching once. I recommend watching it once. I don't want to watch it again. This isn't my favorite movie of all time. And the reason why is because the second time I watch this, all I'm going to be sitting there doing, I know myself, I'm going to be sitting there going, wow, this really is as dumb as I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I guess it's not as much of a recommendation as I was in the non-spoiler, but it is fun. It's fun.
And I agree with you. Watching it once...
But don't insult my intelligence by assuming that I'm not going to notice that what you've made is...
No, here's the thing. If this was a movie...
It's a pun because it's a zombie movie.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha!
If this was on Netflix for like premium or something and you had to pay $30 to watch it at home, absolutely goddamn not.
No, I would only pay to watch this in theaters.
No.
Because Zack Snyder visuals are worth seeing on that screen.
Yeah, but if you already have Netflix and you have some time, like I said, we've said it several times, the creativity is really, really cool and it looks good. But there's so much in this movie that I'm like, somebody was half asleep.
Yeah.
When they wrote it, and I don't understand how that happens because so many people and so much money go into making these movies. I don't know how these things happen. And
this movie has 3 writers.
Laziness.
It's Zack Snyder and 2 other credited writers.
Like
there are 3 people who wrote this and all agreed like, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Whatever. We're cool enough that no one's gonna question it.
It's not that though. I don't know. I don't want to just repeat myself.
The problem, it feels like that. The problem, it feels like that, and it feels pretentious. And those are the things that really, really irk me when I watch movies. I feel like you guys already know this about me. I have talked about it many times.
Yeah.
Don't do it. No. Don't do it. Give me something to love. Like, cause I agree with you. This could have been my favorite zombie thing. From the last 10 years. And I had to kind of step away from zombie stuff because I was having really weird dreams. Mm-hmm. But, like, the only thing that I think maybe, like, rivals this for me is when Game of Thrones did the Hard Home episode.
Yeah.
Which, was stunning. But, like, I love Game of Thrones, and I'm willing to say that, like, this almost rivaled that, but they screwed it up.
Yeah, the first half of this movie, despite being a little bit too much setup, is so good. Like the first 90 minutes of this movie.
Yeah. And then
which is crazy because a movie should be 90 minutes. But the last hour is where it just gets dumber and it gives up on a really cool premise. Mm-hmm. In the way that it treats the zombies. And like look, there's more coming from this movie. There's a prequel movie set in Germany with Dieter, which they've already shot. So like the second film in this is already coming, which is gonna be called Army of Thieves. Which is gonna be how Dieter becomes a safecracker, I guess. Which won't have zombies in it, so that's interesting. And then there is an Army of the Dead Las Vegas animated prequel show coming to Netflix. So Netflix is like full committed to this Army of the this Army of the blank franchise. And honestly, like the base concept is strong enough that like I want to see more. I just hope that the next thing in this franchise takes it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, I get really salty when like you said, with the whole like robot thing, with the little sprinklings that they throw in this movie that just make you feel lost on purpose, I get really salty about that, and I don't really want to watch anything else because like you kind of it was off-putting. So
let us know in the comments below if you like this video, if you didn't like this video, or if you like the movie. Sorry. If you like this video, like it. Leave comments. If you don't like the video, please dislike it. Leave mean comments about us.
Let us know if you if you enjoyed it. I'm assuming if you watched this video, you probably watched the movie. So
I have no idea how long this video is, but I feel like it's pretty long. So if you got to the end of this, thank you so much. If you don't like us, leave mean comments below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. As always, you can follow us over on Twitch. I'm over on twitch.tv/nerdynightly.
I'm over at twitch.tv/ClarsToCars.
And as always, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye, guys.
Bye.